Hello and welcome to the career simulation of Adam Jiricek. To start off, Adam will be playing for HC Plzeň on the first defensive pairing. In his first season, Jiricek would not play any games for Plzeň but would play 4 World Juniors games and would put up 2 points. Plzeň would finish last in the league and would of course miss the playoffs. In the draft lottery, the Blackhawks and the Flyers have the biggest odds for the first overall pick. After the lottery, Winnipeg and San Jose would win the first 2 spots, and Adam Jiricek is projected to go 12th overall. With the 7th pick in the draft, the Red Wings would pick up Jiricek. Also, Adam is revealed to be a 66 overall with top 4 potential. Jiricek would not receive a contract and would go back to HC Plzeň and would not play any games again, but in the World Juniors Adam would play 5 games with 6 assists. In Season 2, Adam would once again not get a contract but is now a 69 overall. Once again, Jiricek would not play a single ELH game for Plzeň. But in the World Juniors he would play 7 games and score 6 points. At age 20, Jiricek would receive his first NHL contract for 3 years worth $925,000. Also, he is now a 73 but with top 6 potential. This season Adam would play for the Grand Rapids Griffins as a scratched player. At the end of the season, Jiricek would play 74 games and would score 36 points. The Griffins would miss the playoffs this season as well as they finished 29th. He is now a 74. Jiricek would play 82 games and would score 39 points. Grand Rapids would miss the playoffs, finishing 14th in the league. Jiricek is now up to a 75 overall. In 81 games, Jiricek would score 46 points. The Griffins would finish 5th in the league and would make the playoffs. In the first round, Grand Rapids would be eliminated to Belleville in 5 games and Jiricek would score 5 points in 5 games. Jiricek would receive another contract at 2 years worth $869,000. Also, he is still a 77 but with 7th defense potential. In 80 games, Jiricek would surprisingly score 80 points. The Griffins would finish 4th in the league and make the playoffs. The Griffins would once again lose in the first round, this time to the Marlies in 5 games. In those 5 games, Jiricek would score only 1 point. However, Jiricek would win the AHL Offensive Defenseman Award. I do not know the name, but if you know, let me know in the comments. Adam is now up to an 80 and is a scratched forward for the Red Wings. In 45 NHL games with the Red Wings, Jiricek would score 9 points as well. The Red Wings would finish 27th in the league and miss the playoffs. Jiricek is still an 80. In 16 games played with the Red Wings, he scored no points at all. The Red Wings would finish 19th in the league and would make the playoffs. The Red Wings would make it all the way to the conference finals but would be eliminated to the Hurricanes in 5 games. Jiricek would only play 5 games and would score 0 points again. Jiricek would receive another contract for another 1 year, this time at $981,000. Also, he has reached maximum potential at an 80 overall. Jiricek would play 62 games in the AHL and would score 55 points. Grand Rapids would finish 15th in the league and would miss the playoffs. Jiricek would receive a large contract this year at 3 years worth $1.1 million. Jiricek would play 12 games with the Red Wings this season and would score 2 points. The Red Wings would finish 2nd in the league and would make the playoffs. The Wings would make it all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals but would be eliminated to the Blues in 6 games. Jiricek would play 8 games in the playoffs and would score 7 points. At the age of 28, Jiricek would get his contract bought out or terminated for some reason. In response, he would go back to HC Plzeň and would play 24 games and would score 27 points. Plzeň would finish 3rd in the league and would make the playoffs. Plzeň would make it to whatever the ELH finals are but would be eliminated to HC Litvinov in 6 games. In 18 games, Jiricek would score 11 points. He is still an 80 overall on Plzeň. In 24 games, Jiricek would score 18 points. Plzeň would finish 11th in the league and would make the playoffs. Once again, Plzeň would make it all the way to the finals but would be eliminated to Sparta Praha in 7 games. In 27 playoff games, Jiricek would score 25 points. Jiricek would stay on Plzeň as an 80 overall. In 24 games, Jiricek would score 20 points. Plzeň would finish 13th in the league and would miss the playoffs. Jiricek would finally receive a new contract, this time at 1 year worth $1.5 million, and is still an 80 overall. In 82 games with the Kraken, Jiricek would score 14 points. The Kraken would finish 4th in the league and would make the playoffs. The Kraken would be eliminated in the first round to the Stars in 6 games. In 6 games played, Jiricek would score 1 point. Jiricek would receive a new 2-year deal worth $1.1 million but is now a 78 overall. In 38 games, Jiricek would score 1 point. The Kraken would finish 4th in the league again and would make the playoffs obviously. In the second round, the Kraken would be eliminated to the Knights in 5 games. In 12 games, Jiricek would score 1 point. Jiricek is now a 77 overall. Jiricek would play 39 games and would score 30 points. The Firebirds would finish 29th in the league and missed the playoffs. Jiricek would receive another contract, this time for 2 years worth $960,000. Also, he is down to a 75. In 27 games, Jiricek would score 13 points. The Firebirds would finish last in the league and would of course miss the playoffs. Jiricek would be bought out again, which I have never seen someone get bought out 2 times before. Jiricek would join the Hurricanes on a 1-year deal for $1 million and he is also a 73. Jiricek would play no games at all, however. After this season, I think Jiricek just disappeared as he was nowhere to be found in the search bar. This is the last photo I have of him. So I guess at the age of 37 Adam Jiricek would retire from the NHL. Here are his stats in the NHL, AHL, and ELH. Pause to read if you'd like. Hope you enjoyed this video. Goodbye.